Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. Many times we've quoted two halachas. One halacha is Adam Mu'ad L'Olam, that a person is responsible for all his actions. So much so, Chazal say, a person is responsible for his actions when he's awake. A person is responsible for any action that comes about during his sleep, if anything he causes damage. That means to say, even by accident, because there is no such thing as an accident by a person. A person should have been aware that where he's sleeping could have caused the action, so he should have thought in advance. And in general, we say, Adam Mu'ad L'Olam, whatever action a person did, he's responsible for. But sometimes, push comes to shove, and he's pushed against the wall to do something. And the question is, that I saw that's brought in the Shayos at Shuvas Farm, there was a person that was by a public place, or not necessarily, it doesn't have to be a public place, it could be anywhere, and there was a paparatzi, there was a person taking pictures, and I happen to be an individual that I don't want people to take pictures of me, for whatever reason, or I don't want anybody to know that I'm here, I don't want it to be publicized, I don't want a picture. So, I asked the person, please don't take a picture, once, twice, and it got into a heated argument, and what happened was, one time I was raising my hands, and accidentally my hand hit the camera dropped, and it broke. It has to be fixed. Now there is a damage of a couple $100, maybe $1,000 because of the broken camera, and the question is twofold there. First of all, the person is a nudnik. What's with my privacy? We know there's hezek riyah. Every person is entitled for his privacy, but it's not a tangible damage. From the other hand, I didn't really intentionally damage the camera. Out of anger, out of heated discussion, I moved my hands, and my hands made the camera drop. But for that, we just quoted that Adam Mu'ad L'Olam. A person is responsible in all his actions. What would halacha say in this case? And actually, the shaila happened once. The shaila was that a story in Purim where people got dressed up, and an individual was taking pictures, how excited, how nice it is, the people getting dressed up, and the individual got dressed up, didn't want people to see him with that funny. He did it for one time for Purim, but he didn't want to have a picture roaming around town of him dressed up funny, and as I said, in the heated conversation, he dropped the camera. He made the camera fall. So, the halacha, the Bezdin Paskin, in that case, it would depend if the person who made the camera drop was a gadol or was a katan. If he was a mature, older person, then correct. Adam Mu'ad L'Olam, he's responsible for his actions. If it was a katan, then a katan, the Shulchan Aruch says that you can't obligate a katan for his actions. Nevertheless, lifnim mishuras adin, in Hilchos Shabbos it's brought that there are certain things that a katan is not responsible because he's not mature yet. But if he wants to go lifnim mishuras adin, he should still pay for the actions, pay for what he did wrong. But there is a reason for this. It's all based on the Gemara and Baba Metzia, Baba Kama, and mentioned a couple of times during these classes. It's a halacha in Choshen Mishpat Siman Shin Pei Gimel Siv Beis, and over there it's talking about an old-fashioned scenario where somebody's ox, my neighbor's ox, comes into my garden, into my barn, and it's starting a fight with my ox. So now I ultimately don't care what happens to my neighbor's ox. It's a troublemaker. I just want to save mine. Now, do I have to be cautious how I save mine? Just take my animal away and lock him up and make sure he's safe? Or could I do whatever comes first to me? Could I hit the other animal? Could I push him, drop him? So the Shulchan Aruch says that if that other animal came and is attacking my animal, so if I push the other animal off, and the other animal falls and hurts itself or gets killed, then I'm responsible. Why am I responsible? Because intentionally I'm not allowed to do something to damage anybody else's property. Nothing of somebody else. That animal came into my rishus, but if I have other ways to protect myself, then I have to use the other ways. If I have no other way to protect my belongings, to protect myself, then that's the only choice. But in this case, instead of investing the effort and time to push that animal off, I could take that same effort and schlep my animal towards me. So using that logic, the Dayan paskin the same here. You don't want anybody to take a picture of you? Fine. Cover your head, cover your face. To intentionally go and damage somebody's property, that's not your only option. You have other options to protect yourself. Was that person a nice guy? No. The person was not a nice guy because he's barging in onto your privacy. Do you pay for that? Is it a damage that you have to pay? No. Is it menschlich? Weiter no. Avas Yisrael, v'ahavta v'recha kamoicha. It's not. Rabbi Yosef Chaim Zonefeld and Shlomo Chaim Paskin, that mitzad Avas Yisrael, you can't take away from somebody's privacy, just take pictures and whenever you want. But that doesn't give me the right to damage his camera. Now in this case, it goes a step further. I didn't even do it intentionally. But remember, Adam Mord La'elam. If I'm not allowed to damage intentionally, even if I do it by mistake, I'm responsible to pay.